This is preparing to stream the live.
Yeah, it's telling me being live streamed.
Cool. As soon as I see that it's up here. All right.
I got a little note saying that it was live streaming.
Cool. So here we go. It looks like we are live. All right. Oops. Okay, so it's talking to me. All right, so hey, we are live on Meet the Flockers, and there's a little one in the back.
I just got a little visitor. Hello.
Mommy, can I have more?
Yeah, in just a minute. I got 10 minutes on the phone here with Sam, and then we'll help you out. Okay. Of course.
It's perfect. This is the real life of being a mom business owner. So I wanted to introduce you guys today to my friend, Kristen Goss, who owns Goss, which is a photography and branding company that they help female entrepreneurs. And do you help males too? Am I saying that wrong?
I specialize in working with female entrepreneurs, business owners, and industry professionals.
Okay, perfect. So if you guys have
that is my legal roundabout way of saying yes.
Okay. Perfect. So if you guys have seen my business cards, my a lot of my posts on social media, Kristen has taken most of those pictures. I think there's like one batch that she hasn't taken, but all of the other ones were Goss photos. And I get a lot of questions about who does my photography and stuff like that. Here she is. So I wanted you guys to get to meet Kristen for a few reasons. One, she's amazing. Two, I think that a lot of you could potentially utilize her services, but also she's doing her grand opening next week. And so I thought it would be perfect timing to share a little bit about her. So Kristen, share a little bit about yourself and maybe even the cuteness that's over your shoulder and what you do and kind of how you came about Goss.
Yeah. So hello, everyone. First off, this is my daughter, Cecilia. She's 4. So this is the last couple months that I'm home with her. She starts pre-kindergarten in the fall, 5 days a week. So especially Fridays, she has no other school or daycare. So she and I hang out together. We just got back from Target, but yeah, I'm a wife and a mom of 2. Cecilia's 4 and Everett is 7. I started Goss 6 years ago. And I resigned from my corporate marketing job and decided that life wasn't for me and that I really loved being creative. And so quickly within the first year, realized I really loved working with, like I said, female entrepreneurs, business owners. And within the last couple of years, working with a lot of industry professionals. So realtors, insurance agents, therapists, mental health therapists. So that's been really cool too, to work with them on building a personal brand. So obviously do that through visuals, photography and videography, and also, helping women feel confident in themselves and their business. So the biggest mission of Goss is confidence. And I think that it's always been in my heart to just help women. And I feel like a lot of my own journey as a business owner, as a woman, as a mom, plays into that. So, what can we do to help you really up level in your personal life and in your business as well? Because I believe the two just go hand in hand.
I totally agree with you. And I think like one of the things that I think about is the first time I came to get pictures with you, I was like so self-conscious and so nervous about what I was going to wear. And I was like having this big debate about making sure I had the right shirt on. And when I got there, I walked in and you were like, just wear the shirt you have. Like I brought into, and you were like, I like the shirt
You're
have.
Like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm telling you, just tuck it in. Like that is perfect. And it worked out.
Yeah. And it was a super comfortable, really fun shoot that like, I'm not, although I appear to be very comfortable on social media and I do these videos and I post a lot of pictures, that's for my business. And it's actually not comfortable for me. So having somebody like Kristen, who is just super supportive and encouraging and like, even you started sending out emails recently. You sent one.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head now, I can't remember what it said exactly, but I remember being so touched by it that I replied like, I love this email. I needed to read that today just to kind of like have that empowerment for me to get through whatever it was that I was going through that day. So it's so important, especially I think when we transition from pre-mom to mom, there's a lot of body image changes. There's a lot of like, I don't know. It's weird. I remember having like no inhibitions when I was younger, and now like I have a lot of them. Being able to work with somebody who is nothing but supportive and encouraging and helpful in that way is just a huge benefit. Are there specific industries that I know you mentioned real estate, insurance agents, therapists. Are there like areas that you specialize in?
Not really. I think one of the greatest benefits of my business is that I do get to work with women in a lot of different industries, and also, you know, knowing too that I work with women in product-based businesses, so the makers of the world, and also a lot of service-based businesses, so coaches, consultants, other photographers, other creatives, a lot of graphic designers and web designers. Those tend to be really fun partnerships or collaborations because we speak a certain jargon, if you will, in the creative industry. And so it's fun to just be able to talk shop when we have our shoots. But also, you know, if it's an industry or a job that I'm not familiar with, learning so much about it can be really so eye-opening and beneficial to me just as a person, like learning so much that about things that I didn't even know.
Yeah, it's
so
fun.
I wouldn't say that I specialize in a specific industry. I think, you know, if you are a woman and you're building a business, no matter what stage of business you're in, or if you're an industry professional, I mean, there's such a need to create a personal brand in today's digital age that you absolutely need a great headshot, number one. And number two, what type of brand values can you bring to your profession, to your job? Because creating a personal brand makes you recognizable and memorable. And in the, you know, corporate world, that could, you know, potentially and hopefully place you on great teams, gain you a promotion, you know, make more money, and just, you know, kind of climb that ladder, if you will. Which again wasn't the life for me, but for someone who has those goals and objectives, I can absolutely help you with that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't realize that you did do that with more like the corporate side of things as well. Cause I'm with you. It was not for me either. I thought it was, and it was, I shouldn't say it wasn't for me completely, but it definitely wasn't for the now me. It was for like the 10 years ago me.
Yeah.
And so it is interesting to think about that, because in the corporate world, you're a little more like, you don't have as much freedom to kind of like do more fun pictures. And one of the things I loved about the first time that I got to meet with you was it wasn't so stuffy. It wasn't a headshot of me like sitting back in an angle or whatever. Like it was, I was allowed to like be myself a little bit. You really encouraged me to, you know, be myself in the photos. So it was very fun, which it was new to me, and the idea of getting professional photos done.
Yeah, no, I like to tell that to people whenever I talk to them on the phone, or they meet me in person and they have questions about what, you know, my services are like. And I just basically tell them, like, you know, the deliverables of headshots, the headshot deliverables are shifting so much. Whereas before, yeah, it used to be that like gray muslin backdrop that they would pull down with like harsh lighting, and you'd stand there and be sweating. And to me, that just seemed like so stuffy and cold. And the idea of personal branding is to obviously showcase like who you are. And show your personality, show your emotions, and, show that you are a well-rounded person. And you're obviously not going to get that from, those types of JCPenney like glamour
Yep.
shots.
Like lifestyles. Is it like lifestyle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think during ours, you actually like pulled out a fan and like blew my hair into the wind.
Yes,
like,
I love the fan.
It's really fun. I had my Beyonce moment.
Yes, that's exactly right. It creates that extra level of confidence. It sounds silly, but it really does work. And I just updated my profile picture on Instagram, and I'm like literally standing in the fan, like I'm this close to the fan. And my hair is blowing, and it's just like so fun. It just like elicits like a
Yeah.
genuine smile and reaction that you wouldn't get otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's awesome. And I love what you're doing. I love, obviously, like I have a passion for helping women in business, and I am probably sometimes I think I freak people out sometimes because I'm so enthusiastic whenever they start a business to help women get to that next level, which is another reason why I really wanted to share what you do. Can you just talk a little bit about your grand reopening, and then also how can people find you?
Okay. All right. Hold on 1 second. Just move over here, please. My back's starting to hurt.
I get it.
Yeah. So the story of my studio is that we moved in January 2020. There were 4 of us, and it was meant to be a collaboration, a collaborative space. And then of course, COVID happened. So what left was myself and another photographer. And then she has since moved on. And so starting in 2022, this year, the studio became mine exclusively. And I figured we never had a grand opening at any point because of COVID. And I feel like now is the time to, not only celebrate the space, but also to celebrate my business.
Yeah. Oh no, I lost you, or we paused.
Being that, I have been, I'm here.
Okay, good. It like did a weird,
good?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. So hopefully the audio came through, but no, I think now's the opportunity to celebrate the studio as a space, but also celebrate my business. I've been in business for almost 6 years. And I think, COVID kind of rocked everyone's world, but it almost had the opposite effect on me personally and through my business. Whereas I feel like I'm more confident now. I think it's almost like I've weathered the storm, like I'm a survivor.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's just like life is short. Your time on this earth is short. And so you've really got to capitalize and make use of your skills and your uniqueness, if you will. And so, yeah, on Tuesday, we're celebrating. I'm opening the doors. Anyone can pop in. It's from 6:30 to 8:30. My studio is in Mount Lebanon in the South Hills of Pittsburgh. So it's a little easier for folks that don't live in the South Hills or because it is right off of 376. So it's pretty easy to get there and accessible, which is nice. So I really love the location. But yeah, I mean, I'm going into my 2nd year, or I guess I should say 3rd full year in the space. And I just love it. It's just, it's a little small, but it's about 600 square feet. And I just wanted to invite in some friends and colleagues that have been supportive of me the entire 6 years. And also, for anyone who is interested in the services that I offer, stop in, get to chat with me, get to see the space. I shoot mostly in my studio, as you know, but I'm open to shooting on location as well. depending on, what you need that for. But yeah, it'll just be a fun time. And of course there'll be champagne, because if you know me, I love champagne.
Yes. And oh my gosh. So Kristen also, can I talk about the One Hope? She
Yeah.
also does One Hope wine sales, which is like you sell wine, but it goes to a charity. So you can choose a cause that you care about and do a wine party, and people buy and you get to donate to your favorite charity, which is amazing.
With you in just a minute.
Like earned some free wine at the last one that I did, and that almond champagne is so delicious.
Oh yeah.
It's a
I
really
have not
good one.
tried that.
It's good. So anyway, I'm excited for your grand opening. I will be there. I'm going to go over the river and through the woods and through the mountains and come over
Into the city.
So, yeah, exactly. And I'm looking forward to that. And congratulations, because you're doing amazing things. And I follow you on social media, and I just love the message that you're sending. And whether you know it or not, you're touching women's lives and you're making them better and more confident. And I couldn't love that more. So the last thing before we jump off, because we're probably over 10 minutes, but that's okay. How do people find you? What's the best way for somebody to connect to you on either social media or via email, or how can we find you?
Yeah. So I mostly hang out on Instagram. My handle there is Goss Boss. Or if you simply type in Goss Boss, you'll see my new Beyonce profile picture. But I also, welcome anyone to check out my newly refreshed website. That is simply my name. So it is KristenGoss.com, KristenGoss.com. You'll find the 3 different ways that you can work with me, which is, of course, visual branding. I do offer confidence coaching, and then, of course, the One Hope Wine. So check those out. There's a form on there. If you're interested and want to learn more about working with me, you can go ahead and fill that out, and we'll get a call booked so that we can chat and make sure we're a good fit. And then, of course, if you are available and interested, pop on in for the studio grand opening, and it'll be just a really fun time. So thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for
I
doing
love the
this.
fun of Meet the Flockers. Like, it just makes me giggle because of the movie, obviously. But I just think this is great. Like, you're just, it's so nice to see you so involved in the community and, uplifting other business owners. So I really appreciate it.
Thanks. And thanks for being here. And I'll post all of Kristen's links in the comments as well, or in the, what's it called? The heading. And then that way you guys can find her. If anybody from this area in Saxonburg wants to drive with me on Tuesday night, I would be more than happy to have some company in my car. But have an awesome weekend. Thanks again for being here. And I'm going to see if I can make us, stop live streaming.